Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I'm going to do your June the 15th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Okay, let's see what we have here today. A little bit under the weather, so I'm coming out of the worst of it. I am coming out of the worst of it. Okay. The title of today's meditation is Finding and Extending Acceptance. Regardless of who we are, where we've been, or what we've done, we find in Narcotics Anonymous a place of empathy, acceptance, welcome, and belonging. That comes from the Guiding Principles book, Tradition 2, Spiritual Principles. When we get to NA, so many of us are thinking, oh man, what happens when they find out I did that? Or maybe it's, what if they find out I wasn't that bad? Either way, and everywhere in between, most of us come to Narcotics Anonymous in fear. We are afraid of being judged for who we are and what we've done. We're concerned we'll be asked, why are you here? There would be no point in answering that question since we're already convinced that we'll be misunderstood. We fear that we won't belong in NA, and in many cases, we hope that we don't, so we can carry on using and not have to face our problems. Instead of being denied entry, we hear that the only requirement for us to belong is a desire to stop using. All the group wants to know is what we want to do about our problem and how they can help. No one asks us for our addiction resume. If we said that we leave all judgments at the door, we'd be kidding ourselves. We are human beings, after all. Instead, despite our judgments, our differences, and our histories, we are welcomed and accepted. People have compassion for us, and it seems genuine. Later, we begin to see ourselves in newcomers. We empathize with them and welcome them just as we were welcomed. They are enveloped in the love members show one another as they learn to love and accept themselves. NA accepted me. Today, I will ask myself, what can I do to be more welcoming to my fellow addict? Question mark. That's a good meditation. I like that one. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. That is indeed a powerful meditation, talking about finding and extending acceptance. And it takes us down that road of when we first got to Narcotics Anonymous and how some of us felt about going to our first meetings and what we thought about ourselves compared to what was our reality. And undoubtedly, in my little small town that I live in, you're going to end up in the rooms with someone that you probably used with, that you know, or that knows you from before you even started using. And there's going to be that feeling that they might know more about you than you want them to know. This is where my mind goes on a rabbit trail. Even if that is the case, even if that is the case, what someone thinks about me is not my business anymore. I don't have to manage that. I don't have to control that. I don't need to worry about it or try to manipulate it, or make them think something different. And pretty much, as the lifestyle of active addiction goes, your business is not a secret anyway. But suddenly we get clean, and all of a sudden we want secrecy, anonymity, privacy. Everyone knew you were out there to begin with. And the fact that you surrendered is something to be celebrated. No one is going to look down their nose at you about that. There's no excuses to leave here. None. And a lot of times the judgment or the hostility or those negative feelings that you might have are conjured up by a detoxing, unhealthy mind, right? And it generally passes. And I do like the sensibility here in this meditation where it says we're not going to say we leave all judgment at the door because we're human. That is an accurate statement. But the goal is that hopefully you're so concentrated on what you're going through and what you're dealing with, what your problem is and how we can help you, that you're not aware that that is even taking place. Because generally when a person is placing judgment, most people, now my face is very expressive, so I've learned to develop my, if you will, poker face. But generally speaking, you wouldn't be able to look at a person and tell that they have any thoughts about you or what you're doing, because this is about inclusivity here. And if you're not hurting yourself or hurting someone else, generally people don't speak up on your situation or even show what they might think. It's not a judgment that you'll be able to feel that's real. I don't believe that. I believe that sometimes what we say people are judging us is our own condemning minds about our own behavior. And because we're judging ourselves harshly, we judge that other people are judging us. You know, this is a place where I found acceptance. It's one of the first places that I laughed. Well, I remember I had a friend when we were younger in elementary. We laughed about everything, everything. But that was when I was a young person, like in the 6th grade or something. Narcotics Anonymous was the first place that I actually was able to come to and enjoy that hard laughter that makes you cry. Oh, I laughed so hard for the first time here in a way that was healthy for me. And it was exciting for me to realize that that part of my personality was still there. That when I'm not using and trying to figure out how to get myself out of messes I've created, that I'm pretty jovial. There was so much acceptance when I first got here. And so it behooves me to make sure that I extend that to other people, that I'm hospitable to other people, welcoming to other people. That's for me. Now, where are you with it? What's your storyline? And how do you use that to improve upon how it might be for someone else coming in the rooms? That's really what it comes down to. Am I able to give it back? Am I able to be welcoming to the next person coming in the doors behind me? Yeah, it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. I'll give you that. And it's not necessarily an easy one, but it is necessary. And then when you develop these warm relationships, how do we go about maintaining them? right? How do we maintain them in a way that's healthy and not negative and detrimental? Because a lot of times we slip right back into that character assassination and gossipy mindset, and we begin to destroy the beautiful things that we found when we got here, and we make it different for other people, right? Traditions help with that as well. Family, my name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. Talk to you soon.